Hi, I'm Jeremy Hansen with Seattle Makers. You can find all about what we're doing at seattlemakers.org, or you can follow us on social media at Seattle Makers HQ. And huge thanks to Leslie Melo for coming and showing us how to create a mask habit. You can watch that video as well. There's only so much you can do with fitting the mask that you have, so it's a good idea to have different styles, different fabrics, as well as getting one that fits. If it doesn't fit, then it's not going to protect you or others, and you probably won't be likely to wear it, especially if it's uncomfortable. So that's where we enlisted the help of Jeni, a fiber and jewelry artist who created a number of prototypes for us, and then we started cutting those out on the laser cutter. So Jeni, you want to talk about our latest design?
So I have 4 pattern pieces. They're all exactly the same. You'll have a right side and a left side for both the front and the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the center seams together first. So if there were an obvious right side and wrong side of the fabric, I would put the right sides facing each other because we want the seam to end up on the inside. So I'm just going to pin these together. I make sure the pins are going to be well out of the way of the presser foot. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric. I can do that by following the edge of my presser foot. First I back tack. And I back tack when I get to the end as well. Trim off the extra threads, and I do the other side the same way. Great. So now that I have 2 sides, I'm going to go over to the iron and press the seams open. If you don't have a tailor's ham, you can use the edge of the ironing board. That's a little tricky, but it'll work in a pinch. You can also roll up some fabric and use that. Now I'm going to pin these 2 pieces together. We want the right sides to be facing inside again. So there's a definite top and a bottom to this mask. So the top part curves in a little more to go over your nose. Find the top side on both, and I'm going to pin the right sides together. Now I'm going to sew the seam on the top and bottom, 1/4 inch from the edge again. When you get to that middle seam, make sure the seam allowances are folded open. It can be dangerous sewing over your pins like this. It's a little bit of a gamble, so be careful with that. I'm gonna turn it inside out, and then I'm going to press these folds on the top and bottom. So now that I have the top and bottom pressed open, I'm going to press under the sides. Same seam allowance, 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just a good, just get it close. We have 2 pieces of elastic. The longer one goes on top, and the shorter one goes on the bottom. About a 1/2 inch on the inside. Okay. All right, now we're ready to sew these in. So I'm gonna do 2 stitch lines. One is close to the edge as I can get, 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch, and then another about 1/4 inch away from the edge. Again, be careful if you're gonna sew over these pins. If your needle happens to hit a pin, you could break it, and it can be dangerous.
Does it like fly out and hit your eye?
It's possible. I'd say it's happened. It's rare, but I've definitely broken needles and they fly. But I've never had one hit me in the face before. It's just something to look forward to. Okay. Now we have 2 stitch lines on either side and our mask is finished. Yep, it's pretty good. Visit seattlemakers.org to pick up your mask or your mask kit. If you want to know more about me and my work, check out the links below.
And if you'd like to follow our social media, we're at Seattle Makers HQ for designs, how to make your own mask or buy your own. Check out seattlemakers.org. Thanks for watching.
Yes!